that we made it clear. Today we talking about criminal activity. When did you have to do it? But does it really have to be? Did you have to really pick up drugs? Did you have to hang out with thugs? That's what we have to find out. Like, I know some people don't know no other way out, and there's really no doubt that if you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, then you probably have a better way out, or even in. I know that life is a sin. No sin is greater than the other. But when you're with your brothers and your brothers are struggling to get away, they're trying to make a better way and make a better day. Hey, you might join in with the old team and make sure that you do the things to get a beam, or maybe your bends, and you're rolling with your friends. I know that you're trying to get a couple of ends. It's kind of hard growing up in the hood. A lot of things that we do hardly ever understood, but it's sometimes good, sometimes bad. We mix the two in together, and now I know the weather is kind of stormy. I'm going to warn he who gets into this life that it gets strife. And I got a wife and I got a girl. I got both of them, and I think it's kind of thorough. Actually, I'm just kidding around, but I know that deep in the hood it always goes down. So what part do you play? Do you do the things to get out the way? Will you still stay in school? Will you do the things that trades guys? Wait a minute. We're gonna bring it back. Yeah, I gotta do the things to make sure that I make the ends meet, and I'm going to try to compete with the best that's out there. I doubt there could ever be the one that could take me out where I stood. I know it's good when I come through. I know that I gotta do some good, and he who thinks that they're going to front on mine, I'm going to show him that the sun always does shine. He chose to sell drugs. I'm sorry. He chose to do crime. He had no other choice but to do crime. What we're going to talk about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show are there circumstances to whereas a person has no other way to make a living other than to involve themselves in some kind of criminal activity? I know it sounds crazy to people who haven't been raised that way, or raised in that element, or been exposed to it that way. But are there circumstances beyond people's control that make them choose crime from an early age? And you can tell that there's no other way that they're going to be able to get out of this condition that they were born into other than to do crime. The crazy thing about it is, at least the craziest part about it to me is that if crime is a way to get out of your negative condition, then why wasn't crime used to get out of the condition that you were born into in the first place? That's something that we have to deal with. Well, it's something that we have to deal with, and there are many ways into criminal activity, and there are many ways around and out of criminal activity. But for some, is it really a choice for them? Like it may be for you and I? Like, you have time to tune into this program right now, and I have time to relay this program to you, share it with you, share my thoughts and feelings with you about the way that life can go sometimes. And you have the time to do that too. If we were in another situation, we may not have time to build on this. We may only have time to go out there and make it happen in the way that we need to make it happen out there. So we have to have a conversation today, and we're going to have a good one. He chose to do crime. He had no other choice but to do crime. That's what we're talking about today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. How y'all feeling today, man? I'm feeling like a real man should. I'm feeling real good. I'm gonna make it rain. Let me explain why. Hold on. Let me because I got a feeling it's gonna be a beating on the tables type of day, and I don't want to mess up nothing. So let me shout out y'all. You know, I want to thank y'all for coming through on the early side of things. T Carry, right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Emily Dunlap is in the house. Wow, she about to turn it out. Thanks for coming through, Emily at USA. What's good? What's good? And Devin Clamp says, I I've sub me back. Oh, I will definitely sub you back if you sub. As a matter of fact, I got something for you just to sub. Duca says, or is it Ducka? It looks like Duca. All right, MC Hammer chains there. No, I don't think MC Hammer ever wore chains. Did MC Hammer used to wear chains? I don't remember MC Hammer wearing chains. Don't forget to hit the like button. Without a doubt, when y'all come in here, when y'all stroll up in here, I promise to deliver. If I don't do nothing on this channel, I deliver day in and day out, and we are on every day. So today we're talking about he chose to do crime. The other had no choice but to do crime. Do you believe that there is a such thing as somebody not having any other way out of the hood or out of their impoverished condition but to maybe grab up a firearm, you know what I mean, sell a pack or two, do something that will have you running from the police or going back and forth to court to defend yourself? Do you believe, do you think, is it a real circumstance or situation to you that somebody would have to instead of choosing to? Number one stunner says, do you dress like that in public? Dress like what in public? Let me show you how I'm dressed. Because, you know, a lot of people who do content creation, they don't show themselves. I have no reason not to show what I look like. So this is what I look like. I'll give you a full view, whole 360. I'm a big, black, handsome man. I don't have nothing to hide. I don't have nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, I rock jewels. I rock jewels in public. I rock jewels in private. I work hard to get what I got, and I show what I got. And nobody would ever take anything from me. They have before, but not at gunpoint. You know what I mean? They didn't strong arm me and no shit like that. And it ain't gonna happen now. I'm 54 years old. So I don't know what y'all think this is, but I'll show you. Now, for my man who said that he subbed, I'm gonna make sure I go back and sub on your channel. But for right now, I want to give you a little shout out. I want to give you a little shout out. Yeah, play a little something. Cowbell, cowbell, cow, 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 cow. And I definitely won't sell you out. Matter of fact, I would go to your channel right now, but I don't want nothing to disrupt my stream. But I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna give you a little triangle action. Give you a little triangle action. And this is for anybody else who subbed who didn't say nothing. Thank you. Word. When was the last time you saw a triangle? You won't catch it nowhere else. This is my angle. I bring out little instruments that you haven't seen in a long time, probably third grade, and I'm going to celebrate my people coming through. I appreciate you all the time. I really do. Not fronting, not saying a little something that doesn't mean nothing. It's no bluffing. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. You see the sign and the logo. Well, not the logo, but you know how the show goes. This is going to be some other shit. I know. All right, let's get it popping, y'all. Let's get it popping. All right. Ollie, what's good? Thanks for coming through. And he says, you need more cowbell? I never heard anybody ask for more cowbell. So you like noisemaker. You a New Year's kind of guy. I ain't mad at it. All right. And yeah, my neighbors be bitching. Ollie says, Johnny Depp armbands, Tiger Woods shirt, and Joe Rogan shorts. Shakita Hall says, you look damn good. I believe Shakita. I'm rolling with Shakita. Thank you, Shakita. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. As you from the Bahamas, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So let's do this. Him. What up, him? So we're talking about Does a person always have a choice on whether to indulge in criminal activity in order to get things that they want, obtain material things, take care of their family, give back to their community? Like, I know it sounds funny when you talk about criminal activity giving back to the community, but when you really think about it, if you take away from the community, there's still a way for you to give back. It's probably the easiest way to give back to the community if you've taken something away from the community in the first place. And for the bougie cats, that say, well, the hood ain't never did nothing for me, I don't have to give back to the community. What has the community ever done for me? Well, there's still different ways to look at it, because if you come from the community, you have taken from it in some type of way. It has benefited from you. You have benefited from the community in some type of way. Even if you don't see it, sometimes you need people to explain how some things may work, even if they aren't crystal clear to you. So even if you only got the motivation to get out of the hood, to escape the violence, to escape the poverty, to escape the bad education or the lack of opportunities, you still drew something from the hood, and it goes towards your knowledge, wisdom, and experience on what may be good, what may be safe, what may be beneficial. No, I ain't worried. Listen, Ali, my skin is thick. My skin is thick. Don't worry. We go back and forth on this type of shit all the time. So, it's all in good. It's all in good fun. Even if you troll, you are still participating. You're still adding on. You're still, giving us something to hold on to. So I ain't mad at that. Nah, do your thing. When I clap back at you, though, just understand. This is not a one-way street. It's all good. Info spot 411. What's going on? What's up? How you feeling? And David DVFX. David VFX. That's what's up. And grown woman, don't try me. What's up, ma? Good to see me some you all day, every day. And Clay, what's that? Clee or Clay? Or is it Clay? However you pronounce it, I don't want to mess your thing up. So, all I want to say is thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. All right. Buying scratch cards till I win the lottery. Wow, what a name. Says, it's my bro's birthday. Big Mikey Hunt. Can you give him a shout out from his big bro, Matt Hunt? I can absolutely do that. But how is he going to hear it? What's his name? His name is Mikey. Mikey Hunt, huh? I guess you probably want me to call him Mike. Mike for short, huh? Mike Hunt. Give him a shout out from Mike Hunt. From Mike Hunt. I know Ali. I got him. Listen, I ain't new here. You know what I mean? We do this. So Mike Hunt needs a shout out. You need a shout out to Mike Hunt. Man, y'all the real MVPs. Y'all ain't gonna win no championship. Y'all the real MVPs. Jason Smith says he definitely a bottom. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean. King Jr. says, what's up, King Jr.? What's good? Stacy White, thanks for coming through, holding it down for the D all day, every day. And Axped, what's good? Stacy says, I seen the beginning. Wait a minute, hold on. I seen the beginning of the show. You is so modest. By Scratch says, I will watch you now all the time, bro. I got you. Well, I appreciate that. It's all in fun. Manuel Bai says, you look like Mike Tyson. Well, how about that? And Nana Bright says, I grew up in Atlanta, in Atlanta housing projects, went through went through racial war, was burned out after I'm burned out of our apartment, and we lived in our van, family of 6. Then we moved to a rural area, and it done our family good to be out of the city. I hear that. I hear that. Life is good. How are you voting? Man, we ain't talking about none of that. We not doing voting today. We done talked about politics. We done wrung that shit out like an old rag or whatever. You know what I mean? Listen. All you need to know is no Trump here. No Trump here. Stacey White says, I seen the beginning of, okay. Yo, why you keep, you know what? All right. Wu-Tang Clan, you look like, all right. And AWACS was good. Now, so check it out. I want to talk to Nana Bright. Nana, all right. So you grew up in Atlanta, and then you moved out to a rural area where it was, fresh air, agriculture, livestock, not a whole lot of people out there, neighbors few and farther apart. But while you were living in Atlanta, and I don't know how long you were in Atlanta before you moved out to a rural area, was anybody in your family, in your immediate family, were they affected by the criminal activity that they may have witnessed, whether it was selling drugs, using drugs, becoming a thief or a gangster or something like that? Because when you look at some families that you may know, and definitely that I know, that I've been around, I see lack of opportunities. I've seen families where I knew that children as young as maybe 3-4 years old, I knew there's no way for this kid to get out. There's no way he's going to make it out. And the reason that I knew it was because I saw what his future was. My dad, my late great father always said, he said, if a man, and I want y'all to listen closely to this because this was very prophetic. I don't know where my dad got this from, but he said, if you want to see the direction that a man is going towards, or if you want to see what his true potential is, look at his uncles. Look at his uncles on both sides of the family, because his uncles will be the influence in his life if his father isn't there. And more than likely, there's more than one uncle to draw from. So if you look at a person's uncle on one side of the family, maybe they're all gangsters. Maybe they're all always going back and forth to jail. One just came home, another one going in, one going for a court date. One has to get a lawyer. One has to have a court-appointed lawyer because he can't afford one. One selling drugs. One is on drugs. One just did a stick-up, a robbery, a B&E. If all your uncles are in that realm, who has been your influences as you growing up? And your influences are what you accept or reject as being a good thing to do, something that's worthy of trying. Well, he did it and he did okay. I guess I'll try it out. If you want to see the direction that a man is going towards, look at his uncles. Now, on one side, on the other side, you may see the other side, maybe the maternal uncles or the paternal uncles. You may see them working, going to school, trying to raise their families, getting married, being active in their community, at least staying out of trouble, doing the 9-to-5 thing, stacking their dough, trying to buy a house, keeping their bills paid. If you see, if that's what your uncles are doing, you'll probably do that. Now, take an extreme example where you see your uncles all trying to be the best things in society. So they might be going to school, higher learning, master's degrees, PhDs, maybe starting businesses, coalitions, organizations, making change out there in the world, whether it's political or social. What if you see them doing that? Trying to become millionaires, some shit like that, family businesses, things like that, getting the family and the community involved. Then you're probably going to be influenced by that. Like, yeah, I ain't got to sell no drugs. I ain't got to run out of here. I ain't got to be violent. I ain't got to join no gang. My family is good. And they showing me how to make some real money, buying properties, shit like that. Now, if you have that example, which would be exemplary of, let's say, like, and I hate to say this shit. Okay. Look at somebody like Donald Trump. Did he have any real option in this world than to become a millionaire? He came from a millionaire. He was gifted $400 million by his dad to become a billionaire. And he did. He didn't stay a billionaire, but he did it. But he was born out of millions. So it just seemed like, what do you think? He wasn't influenced by growing up with a silver spoon in his mouth and having access and privilege and being able to buy whatever he wants and never struggling to have to pay for anything? You think he wasn't influenced by that? So you think that a young man is not influenced by seeing his uncles or his OGs or his dad or any of his male cousins or whoever riding around in Benzes and Audis and BMWs and other kind of foreign vehicles and having a pocket full of money and a neck full of gold and arms and fingers full of diamonds and all that? You think he's not going to be influenced by that and getting mad bitches? Look, I got a shorty under my arm and she like everything about me. Not really, but she like everything external. Not really, but she like what she likes the upside and the return. You think he's not going to be influenced by that? Name me a young boy that watches rap videos and sees things in the rap videos like, oh, I wouldn't want to make all that money. Or I wouldn't like to be up in the club. Or I wouldn't like to, I don't want all these girls around me fawning over me and wanting to be with me. I don't want to have be talking about ice and doing whatever I want to do and riding on jet skis out in the tropics. And I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to have 20,000 people, 30,000 people, pumping their fists and telling me to go. I don't. Even if some of them have used criminal activities in order to get on, like a Jay-Z, like a 50 Cent, like Rick Ross lied and said he did. Remember the whole scandal with Rick Ross, acting like he was pushing weight out there and he was selling all these drugs. Remember Rick Ross? And then it came out he said he knew the real Noriega because he had access to Noriega, when in all reality, Rick Ross was not a drug dealer. He just was the turnkey for drug dealers. And think about it. He got out of that. He got past that. He got past all of that. He ain't sell no drugs. Talked all of that drug talk, all that plug talk. He ain't sell nothing. Haley Fawn, what's good? That Ricky Rose every day. Yeah, Ricky Rose was fronting. Yeah, he wasn't nothing but a CO. You know what I mean? So, hey, he wrote that shit though. It sounded good. Man, I'm feeling like a real man should. You think I ain't when I am? I am. Andre Washington says, no, my boy. He got that out of a big ass bubblegum machine. Got what out of a big ass bubblegum machine? I don't know. Liam Ray, how do you know? Oh, wait. hold on. Let me see. Put Molly all up in their champagne. She ain't even know, right? Yo, that is not cool. That is not cool. So this guy thinking with high voice. Oh, Liam. Damn. Let me see, Liam. What I got for Liam? I got look, I'm glad you came through, but you ain't nobody. I mean, you ain't nobody, my dude. Like, y'all little soft ass LGBTQ ass motherfucker. Y'all come through here. I don't understand. I don't understand. Y'all need something to do. Here I am talking about, cats out here from a young age who had no choice but to become a criminal, but to sell drugs, but to be running from the cops and the feds and all of that. And y'all want to come in here and I don't know. Imagine what your life is like. Like, I think about it. Like, what would my life have to be like to troll? Like for me not to have anything to do, like nothing to hold on to. Like, all right, for me to consider trolling a show, first of all, I would have to be a bitch. I would have to be a straight bitch, like a straight pussy. And so, I'm hiding behind avatars and fake profile pictures and maybe fake profiles altogether. So I find somebody who thinks highly of themselves. And because I don't think highly of myself, I try to tear him down. That's what I would. So I wouldn't have to, I would have to be not so good looking. That would be first of all. Then I would have to have low self-esteem. I know I wasn't getting no pussy. I may even have little feelings of homosexuality, which might explain why I couldn't get no pussy. Because maybe if I got some pussy, my dick wouldn't get hard because maybe you thinking about Brad Pitt or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it would take for me to troll. I know I ain't got no money. Because if I had money, I would be out getting money. See, this show makes money. So you come here trolling, I know that don't make no money. If there's one profession, if you can call it that, in this world that don't make no money, it's trolling. Now, if you somebody like Charleston White, he trolls, but he also gets in front of the camera. Speaking of getting in front of the camera, this is a totally interactive show. You can call into this show and you can speak your mind. This is not a one-way street. So what you can do is you can call the number and you can have your voice heard. So like if you feel like you could go toe to toe with me and I'll give you the floor, I'll let you talk. You know what I mean? It's a totally uncensored show. You can say whatever you want. You can curse, you can cuss, you can swear, you can do it right here. You can yell, you can scream, you can holler. It won't cost you $1. And the number to call, and the number to call, and the number to call, and the number to call is 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Call 319-527-6199. Press number 1 and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on and do the damn, do the damn thing. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is time. I see we have a call on the line. Somebody is brave. Now, wait. Y'all have to understand that a lot of people call in and when they troll, they really just want to go in and out because it's not easy to get your thoughts together when somebody is there pressing you to get your words straight, get your story straight and all of that. But this could also be a legitimate caller who really has something to say. So without any further ado, let me make sure I turn you up so everybody can hear you. As a matter of fact, we're going to do this. I'm going to make sure that everybody can hear. All right, caller with the last numbers 7259. Welcome. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. What's good? What's on your mind?
Yo, can y'all hear?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, yo, you see me up in the chat, bro?
Yeah, what's your name?
What you mean, bro? I'm 6'9", bro. That's what my name is. Shit.
Okay, what's up?
I'm 6 foot. I've been saying I'm 6'9", 6'9", and ain't no response.
No response to what? What do you have to say?
I'm saying you ain't a real 6'9", bro.
I'm not 6'9". I never claimed to be.
Yeah, bro. See, to be honest with you, bro, I'm the only real 6'9" around here, bro. You hear me? I'm 6'9" and I'm 6'9". You feel me? So let's get straight to the point, dog. I don't like to fuck around because all I do is 6'9". You feel me?
No, I don't feel you. I don't feel shit. What are you talking about?
And then you were saying how I was broke or something, bro. I be out here selling dick, nigga. Shit, I'm a gigolo.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you a gigolo? You a gigolo?
Yeah, nigga, I'm a 6'9" gigolo. If you rough out here in fucking Italy, man, you gotta make your money how you make it, bro. Out here in these Italy streets, bro.
All right, tell everybody,
gigolo, man.
Tell everybody how you do it then.
So what I do first, I knock on the door, say what's up, you feel me? Shit, they say they want the 6'9" discount, I give them the 6'9", you feel me?
What you mean you knock on the door? What you mean you knock on the door? You sell 6'9" door to door?
Nigga, I sell dick door to door. I don't sell no 6'9". I be slinging dick.
Okay, so you just randomly sell dick door to door?
Yeah, man. That's what I do. That's how I make my profit. You feel me? I got 10 business partners with me. You feel me? Shit, you make money though.
Why would you need 10? Why would you need any business partners if you selling dick? So you got
you can't do it by yourself. You know, sometimes they want you to run in with a little train, so you hit them with the train.
Wait.
Wait.
You said you can't do it by yourself. You can't sell dick by yourself.
Nah, man, you need multiple people, man. You know, believe it or not, man. You need more than one hand. I'll put it that way. You need more than one hand. You need two.
You need two hands? Okay. All right. So you called into the show.
You're in Italy, buddy.
You in Italy? What part of Italy?
Look up my business.
Wait. You in Italy?
Yeah.
What part of Italy?
Yeah, I got this phone number from America, man.
No, what part of Italy? Huh?
Yeah. I hear you.
What part of Italy are you in?
What part of Italy?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm out here in Vancouver, man. Yeah.
Vancouver,
man.
Italy?
Yeah.
You know you sound dumb as shit, right? You know you done fucked up, right? Yeah, you know you done fucked up. Vancouver, Italy. You in Vancouver? You in Italy, eh? You're in Italy, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now where you?
We don't use condoms out here.
Wait. Get your you smoking? Go ahead. Get your get yourself together. Yeah. You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm smoking on that Fetty, man. Mix it up with that meth.
Yeah. Okay. And so back to your profession or whatever you called in, right?
Yeah, man.
Back to why you called in.
I make $10,000 a month, bro.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I make $10,000 a month. You know, and I can get you in on the business if you want to. Man, I can get you in, bro. It ain't nothing, man. Shit, all you gotta do is fill out a resume, go in the room with the girl, and then shit, it's whatever she gives you a rating of, bro. Yeah, she give you a fucking 4 and below. Ah, shit. Can't be in Italy, bro. You know, gotta have the best for your business. You know, it's like prostitution in America, man. You can't have no ugly asshole trying to sell pussy. You need to talk the talk, just like in Italy. You know.
Oh yeah.
So you feel me? You gotta be above. You gotta be above 6 foot. You can't be shorter than 6 foot. All right, man. You know that's the only thing. That's the only problem right there. You below 6 foot, it's not your line of business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm out.
I think I'm out. You got to be mentally prepared for what the fuck you finna go in there and do. You know, you might have to eat shit. You feel me?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but my business. Yeah, I'm putting my business out there, man. Look me up on YouTube. It's 696969. I can spell it for you. It's 696969.com. Door to door. That's what it's called.
All right.
696969.com, door to door.
All righty.
Yeah, take me out there in Italy, man. You know.
I'll check you out there in Canada.
And we only come up there to women's doors, you know. Ain't none of that weird shit, bro. You know.
Yeah.
You have to go to a different line of business. You want that weird shit going on.
All right, and listen. I want to thank you for calling in. And I want to give a shout out. For some reason, I just want to give a shout out to Canada. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Let me just give a shout out to Canada. Yeah.
Italy, man.
I know you from Italy, but for some reason, I just want to give. A shout
crank,
out,
bro. You know, that's what my business partners do. We sit in the room. You put that crank in the pipe, that shit goes real quick. You know, it's not the same as sniffing. You know, that speed different, bro. Put that shit into a pipe, that shit going quick, man. Yeah, but shit,
one thing is for sure, you don't know nothing about no crack.
I said crank. I didn't say crack. I said crank.
You don't know nothing about that either. You talking about
you
meth?
Don't even know what it is. We out here.
What are you talking about?
Crank
is meth, dummy. Crank is meth, stupid. Yep.
Yeah, you didn't say meth. You said crack.
Because I thought you said crack, but you said I don't know what crank is. I know what the fuck. Listen. We'll get along a whole lot better if you show a little respect. I mean, you on here sounding dumb. You talking stupid shit. I mean, I guess you got your little friends, you know what I mean, probably listening on the line and shit like that. You know what I mean? But you don't even have it down. Exactly what I said, exactly what I warned people against in the beginning of the show is exactly what he did. See, it's a little hard when you forced to get your thoughts together.
You know, I'm trying to spread the.
Let me mute this motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, see, this is what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna have nobody talking over me. All right, what I warned y'all about is that when people call in, when they trolling, they sometimes have trouble getting their thoughts together. I will give it to him. He wasn't as bad as some people who have called in before. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program. So we were talking about, and this is a topic that really needs to be addressed. What we was talking about is, you know, people who have no other way out in their lives but to sell drugs, but to involve themselves in criminal activity, but to become gangsters, but to do a whole lot of things that will either land them in jail or put them in an early grave. Now, a lot of people think that it's ridiculous that you don't have any other choices, because you know how people say, you know the difference between right and wrong. Everybody has parents that taught them right and wrong. Even if your parents didn't teach you right and wrong, your grandparents probably taught you what the difference was between right and wrong. Well, it's not always like that. There's some people come from a criminal family. So they got a whole criminal background of people who only showed them the negative side of life. And they showed them that the negative side of life is how you get to the positive side of life. One thing about being black that I wish wasn't the way it is I wish that the majority of us could see a good life beyond the material things. You know how people who don't have money don't understand how people who have a lot of money could ever be sad or unhappy. I mean, am I lying? You know, when you broke, when it's hard for you to pay your bills, when you can't buy the things that you want, when you can't provide for your family as well, when you can't gain access to things, when you see people who can do it well, you know, you wonder, well, how could you ever be sad when basically you don't have the financial constraints of things pulling you down, ruining your mood, making you have to stay up at night, making you have to scramble, making you have to do things to get money because you can't make them legitimately. And on the flip side of that, people who have grown up with a bunch of money, or who grew up with parents and other people who are a resource to them, when you see people who do everything the right way, they went to school, went to college or the military, worked hard, planned things out, got their shit together, and make a decent wage, take care of themselves and their families or whatever. They can't understand how a person only had the choice to sell drugs or be a gangster or steal things. They don't understand because they like, nah, I could have done those things too. But nah, that's not the way. I had the yin and the yang. I had the yin and the yang. It wasn't just one way. So we can have an easy disconnect between our people because we don't see things the same way. My parents they taught me to go to school, to work hard, to get a job. At a young age, get a job, have your own money, be able to buy your own things. It'll instill pride in you. You'll feel better about yourself. It'll raise your level of self-esteem. And they were right. But around me, there were other influences because I had an after-school job and I could afford sneakers and jeans and coats and jewelry and stuff like that. But my friends who didn't grow up with as much stuff as I did, they started selling drugs. And we talking about the 80s in the crack era. And so they started pushing packs and they was getting real money. Now I don't know how old a lot of people are here, but whatever kind of drugs you selling in this era will never touch the kind of money that was being made in the 80s from crack cocaine. You will never see that kind of money again. The money that was being made from crack in the 80s is like with the Carnegies, the JP Morgans, and the Rockefellers were making in the beginning of the 1900s and in the 20s. TK Rice says 80s and 90s. Yes, 80s and 90s, but more so the 80s. And I have to say the 80s because it was brand new. There weren't any rules to it yet. By 90s, you know, cats had already been going to jail and serving mad sentences. In the 80s, they hadn't gotten caught yet. In the 80s, you weren't fully strung out yet. You didn't understand the long-term effects of this thing. So Bluntico said they're going in with the 8. Yo, it was serious. The money that was being made there. Like I used to see cats, you know, they used to bring in Polaroid pictures. These cats lived in the projects. There used to be this rapper. There used to be this rapper named Jewel T. He came out with a song called Ride the Crossfade. And it was about 88. It was about 1988. Jewel T used to come in the store that I worked in because I worked in a store called City Blue, and it was a popular clothing store in Philly, and that's where all the hustlers came to get their gear. They brought their girls there. You know what I mean? They would try to buy the whole store out at certain times, and they would like all of the drug dealers, just like rappers be clout chasing on Vlad telling on themselves. Well, the drug dealers back then used to tell on themselves. So this dude living in the projects, he used to live in Abbotsford projects, and he used to come through with these Polaroid pictures full of with a bed in somebody's bedroom. The bed is full of money, stacks of money, and the store owner where I worked at would put these pictures up. So when people came into the store, they saw that we were connected. We were connected with the dope boys. So I'm thinking like, I could have been influenced by that. Here I am working in the store. The boy Jewel T was coming in the store. Monique Lovejoy says they had morals in the 80s. What morals? Shoot. Nah, that not my 80s. The morals they had was selling drugs, shooting, killing, taking over spots, taking over blocks. I ain't glorifying no 80s. I ain't glorifying no 80s. Nah, I'm sorry. I know a different story. And I grew up in a good family, but I know about drugs. And it wasn't no morals. It wasn't no moral code. It wasn't no street code either. All that no snitch. No, it wasn't none of that. It was like you snitches got stitches, or as they said in the JBM in Philly, you know what I mean, get down or lay down. Okay. Anyway, I want to thank my girl. Grown woman, don't cry for that super chat. Hold on. Hold on. You think I didn't see it when I did? I seen that. Been missing the shows. Been running a lot. Hold on. Let me take care of you real quick. Let me. Nah, man, fuck this. Nah. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. You. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. That's how we get it down. All right. So I was saying all of this to say that, yeah, you can find yourself in many situations where you don't see any way out. Many situations where you don't see your way, where you don't see no way out. And for a person that has had options, for a person that has gone to school, for a person that has had parents that push them to be excellent, to be superior, to be better, to always be the better version of themselves, to not fuck around, not to stop playing. Yeah, people can't understand that. They can't understand how somebody would not have any other options but to be out there and act crazy like a thug, to stick somebody up, to sell drugs, or to get caught selling drugs, go to court, get released on bail, come home, to sell some more drugs, to make money, to be able to afford a lawyer, to fight a case that you caught for selling drugs. I don't know if y'all peeped out what I just said. You selling drugs to raise money for a case that you caught for selling drugs. You selling drugs to raise money to pay a lawyer to fight a case that you caught for selling drugs. Yeah. Shit like that. T. Carey Wright, thank you. Thank you so much. 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 Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, hold on. Let me see what y'all talking about. Ruben Mendez, new sub. Thank you, Ruben. Hold on, let me get you cowbell. Appreciate that. Hit you. Oh, hold on. And let me Hit you off with a. Wait a minute. Wait. Thank you. 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 Appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. We are talking about he chose to do crime. The other had no choice but to do crime, Monique says. I'm talking about if you selling drugs in the 80s, a lot of times they won't touch your family. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but no. No. They touch family. Well, I don't know if Philly is different from other. They touched family. They did. Kids got shot, paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could say it was a mistake because he was shooting at somebody else, but the bottom line is he got caught up in the crossfire, and it was all over drug stuff. Shirley Sherrill, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Sherrill, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, about? Thanks for coming on through. Appreciate you. Todd Davis says, not here and around Nashville either. Okay. All right, James Nash. Just want to make sure everybody gets shout out. Alan Santosh. Now he's saying Rick Ross. Now I know y'all tripping. All right. Bluntico says, my mom wanted me to commit fraud, different strokes for different. I mean, seriously. I mean, listen. When I say it's funny how really Bluntico. It's funny how when people say crime, for some reason, people's minds automatically goes to violent crime. We start thinking about murdering or hurting somebody like that. But crime, check scams, checks. I could see how somebody would easily get caught up in writing bad checks or credit card scams, especially back in the day, because it was harder to trace. It was harder to find people. But if let's say you worked in customer service at in insurance or at a credit card company or something like that, so you have access to people's social security numbers and the credit information. A lot of people took that shit and they sold it. They sold it to people. They figure ain't nobody gonna get hurt behind this anyway, because once they find out that their identity has been stolen or whatever, then they'll just fix it. They won't have to pay for all of that kind of stuff. People didn't always think about what would happen to people trying to get their shit back together, because there's a lot of red tape surrounded around when you have your identity stolen and somebody has bought all kinds of shit in your name and opened up credit accounts in your name. Biff Tanner, what up, Biff Tanner? All right, access to Rome. What's good, man? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Sir Master J says, hope you are having a good day. Appreciate you, man. I'm feeling like a real man should. Hope you are too. Ruben Mendez says, selling drugs, lawyer selling drugs analogy reminds me of a dog chasing his tail. And that's exactly what it's like, though. That's exactly what it's like. And when you don't know any better, like one thing about selling drugs, you know that you can get money fast. You know what I mean? It's not like a job where you waiting every 2 weeks to get paid, and hopefully you work the whole 80 hours and maybe some overtime. With selling drugs, you can get paid every day. So listen, I need a G today. I need $5,000. Well, I can make that today, pay it today, pay it back today, or pay it back tomorrow. I can get it done like that. So you get knocked for selling. Let's say you get knocked when you got caught with a couple of pounds of weed, maybe a brick of coke. If it's powder coke, you actually you all right, because they don't prosecute coke, powder coke the same way as they do crack. Even though they've tried to even out the playing field, but that's after people have been incarcerated for decades over that shit. But anyway, so yeah, selling you do what you know. People go with what they know. And that's why when I say when people feel like they have no other choice but to sell drugs or to become involved in some kind of criminal activity, if you see that even if you get in trouble for selling drugs, you can make enough money real quick to get yourself out of that trouble, you don't really realize you're digging a bigger hole for yourself. Because you when you haven't gone to school, you don't have nobody to really tell you, like, yo, they looking at you. Once they arrest you once for drugs, you on the radar. The eye in the sky. What do you think is going on? We have a call on the line. Caller with the last numbers 8658. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Thanks for calling in. What's going on? What's on your mind this afternoon?
Hey,
Hey,
I
you.
just wanted to call in and say I miss my family. I'm here. It's been a rough week. However, this conversation about the sale of drugs, and I think Monique was the one who said it best. You know, in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, drug dealers had respect for people. You understand? They respected families. You know, I'm from down north, so I know what be going on. Down the block, a block away from my house, boy owed somebody some big money. They kidnapped his daughter, held her hostage in the house.
Mm-hmm.
When word got out on the street, the drug boys went down there and got that little girl. Okay, you don't play with people's kids. They had respect. They had morals. They knew what they were doing was wrong, but when you grow up in the ghetto, you got to do what you got to do to survive.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you kill or maim. You don't cause harm to people's families. At least that's how it was down north. I don't know about the other parts of the city.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this. So you know of situations where you feel like somebody had to do they had to involve themselves in criminal activities like selling drugs or something like that in order to what? Like do you know of any situations where you knew that somebody was going to start getting involved in criminal activity, and there really wasn't any other way that they were going to any other direction that they were going to go into, and why would it be like that? You have any information about that?
Yeah, I do. We had some old heads down the way that would pull a young boy's coat and just tell them, yo, you don't want to do that. We've been out here doing this. You have another way of doing what you need to do to get out of this. And they would just tell them, if we catch you with that stuff, you got to answer to us. People back then looked out for the young people. Today, the elders are pushing that shit on the young people. You understand what I'm saying? We had, not to bring religion into it, but we had Muslims, okay? And the Muslims did their stuff, but they did not allow the young bucks to come up, do that same stuff. They tried their best to stop it.
Okay.
At least where I was.
Okay. I guess I mean, when you see both sides of the coin, I guess I've seen drugs sold in so many different ways. So it's like I've seen it where they made so much money that they just you know they spent it as fast as they got it, so you never really know how much they had. And then I've seen it to where they weren't making a whole lot of money. I've known hand drug dealers who only sold drugs after work. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
they only sold to their friends. They just wanted to make a little extra money. You know what I mean? Made sure the quality of their product was good stuff. But they wasn't really trying to blow up. They was trying to fly under the radar. And then I've known whole families that sold drugs. All of them.
Oh,
Some of
yeah.
some of them made
Oh,
big
yeah.
money. Some of them made big money in the family, and this is blood family. I'm not even talking about a bunch of people who grew up around the same way who called themselves family. This was actually a blood family where everybody was into the drug game. Either
Oh
drugs,
yeah.
drugs or prostitution. It was crazy. And
Well, I raised a young man, okay, and I was a single mother.
mm,
I had my hands full because he was a young man. You know, one of the brothers came to me and said, "Look, your boy hanging out with the wrong crew." So I'm like, okay, because I respected that. They could have let him go on, and get entangled up in some stuff,
mm,
you know. But when they told me, I said, okay, I'll take care of it. They said, no need, we already did.
okay.
I asked no questions.
Okay.
I didn't need an answer.
I
You
hear
know
that.
what I
I hear
mean?
that.
Sometimes the less you know, the better off you are. But they did. They came and told me because, we know you. We see you. We know what you're trying to do. We're not going to let it happen on our watch. So, again, that's the moral part of that. They were out there. They knew what they were doing. And they knew the reasons why they were doing it. I never understood it. But what they did was they saw the good in kids. And they blocked that stuff. Now, if you was one of them little hard heads that ain't want to listen, they let you go. You'll find out the hard way. But yeah, I mean, when you think about how far the drug culture has gone from, let's say, the 70s and the 80s, because in the 70s we had heroin addicts.
Yeah.
The 80s, we came through the crack thing. Today, it's anything goes. You got these people out here with fentanyl and all this other stuff. But
Yeah.
no.
It's
It
like,
is what it is. People just don't care anymore.
well, but the thing,
It's like the crab in the barrel mentality. If you got $10, I want 20. If that means I got to step on your head to get that 20, I'm going for it.
yeah. My thing is, the youth. When you start thinking about the things that kids are influenced by, and the younger the child and the stronger the influence, the more the likelihood that they're going to try it. Just like if I don't care if a child is only 2 or 3 years old, if they see their mom getting high, they see their mom drink, or their mom or their dad, and all of the grown ups drinking and drugging and whatever, and they doing whatever they have, whatever they doing in order to maintain, and they don't look bad. They don't look like bums. They don't look like they struggling. They don't look like they hurting. Then to that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 year old, that looks like something that's good to do. Like that becomes an option for them because they're not old enough to see the long-term effects of what's happening. They don't understand the intricacies of the stressful situations that drove the grown-ups to do what they're doing. They only see the fruits of the labor. When you are in a position where all you see is the results of something, then the way that you look at it is going to be different. Just like when you see somebody who looks like a bum or who looks like they don't have no money or they broke or whatever. You don't know how they got to where they are. You don't know if they ever had money, fell off, or something tragic happened to them to whereas it led them to be where they are. All you see is the results. So you might say something like, yeah, that's why you should go to school, or that's why you shouldn't hang around bums, or that's why you know what I mean? It's easy to make that assessment based on the result, but children don't see anything from except for the result. So if they see the results of what you're doing equals up to money, access, fame, love, then they might do it. And if there are enough influences around them and it's strong, then the likelihood that they're going to try it out, at least try it out, is going to be strong. Now you can say that, yeah, but they go to school and they learn a different way, and they have teachers, they have coaches who show them a different way. Yeah, but which way? It's like Wi-Fi. The strongest signal is the one that you hear. The other ones, they gotta wait. So if the strongest signal, if the strongest signal that the child is receiving is the one that's getting his money. Like, in school, they show you that you can go to school, do the right things, and make some money. At home, they showing you the money. You see the money. He reached right into his pocket and pulled out 5,000. And he does that often. That's going to be a lot stronger. That's going to be a lot stronger than, let's say, like, one thing about somebody like Master P or P Diddy or Russell Simmons, somebody who's visible in the media, you don't see their money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see their stuff,
Yeah, I do.
but you don't see their money. You take somebody like Floyd Mayweather. You take somebody like Floyd.
Look at Floyd. Right. Look at Floyd Mayweather.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right. He's a good example.
Yeah, he shows you the money. They're like, wait a minute, this is a whole different ball game.
And you figure out how to get yours.
Yeah. Now, I hate that Floyd does that, because what Floyd,
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a terrible example for the kids, and I mean horrible. But because he's showing you the money, but he's not showing you one way to get it. He'll say something like, what'd he say? Hard work and dedication. Floyd, I don't know no other boxers who haven't lost a match except for you. I don't know. I can't name one. And even the ones who did as well as you or close to it, they don't have as much money as you, Floyd. You're showing them a Louis bag full of money. You're not showing them how to make deals or draw up contracts, or how to network, or how to make your money make money, or how to make investments. You're not showing them that. So they're going to think like, well, yeah, if I sell enough drugs, I can have a money team like Floyd. Well, maybe not like Floyd, but maybe like the Supreme team had that T. Carey Wright was talking about, because they closer, and I see their money. Yep, sorry. So yeah.
Let me say this about Floyd.
Okay.
He's also setting more bad examples. He's being sued. Now, here's a man that walks around with Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and he got bags full of money. He always flaunting how much money. He's laying it out on the table and all this kind of stuff. But you being sued for owing a jeweler. Okay? And the man gonna get his money.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about $10, $10,000. We're talking big bucks. And I hate that he does this kind of stuff. I hate to see any person, be it man, woman, don't influence our kids with this bullshit. Just don't. If you want to be a jerk, because I don't want to say the other word, but if you want to be that way, then so be it. Don't push that shit down. I got grandkids. I got grandsons. I don't want them around that.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to see that they come from a hard-working family. At my big age, I'm trying to go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to sit home, because I want to be that force that's there. I want to be that light at the end of the tunnel. If stuff get hard for mine, I want to be able to help them so that they can in turn help their kids. And it's not saying that mine aren't doing, but everybody need a safety net.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to stay on the path of straight and narrow, because even sometimes even the path is straight and narrow are going to have little wrinkles in it. They're going to have little bends and breaks in it. But
Yeah, they're gonna have twisted turns.
yeah, but when I think about cats that I've known, some that I grew up with, some that I watched grow up, and I knew they weren't gonna make it. Like recently as as
Yeah.
as, as late as a month ago, there used to be this young boy. There used to be this young boy that lived on my block. And anybody who has ever been on my block, people know they hustle on my block. You know what I mean? You go to the end of my block, you see nothing but drug dealers there. They do their thing. They do their thing. Here's the thing. I've been living around here for 25 years. And I've watched those drug boys when they were schoolboys. So I
Yeah.
directly watched them graduate to the block. They didn't graduate school. Some of them did, one or two, but I watched them graduate straight from school to the block, and I knew that they was going to the block. So they went from playing basketball. I used to drive them. I used to drive them up to Hunting Park so they could go to the pool. I had this truck, and they used to like to jump on the back of the truck and ride around in the truck. So I have to tell them,
What?
make sure y'all be careful. Don't be trying to jump off the truck while it's moving and no crazy shit like that. I ain't trying to have y'all mind fucked up. But I knew they needed strong male influence because they didn't have fathers. That's what I didn't see. They had other men. They had male influence, but they was all out there scrambling, selling drugs. You know what I mean? Doing, messing with the chicks around it and all that kind of stuff. That's what they did. So there was this one young boy. Now all of the dope boys that I'm talking about, they in their 30s now. One of them, which was my closest homie, he was like a son to me. He passed this year, and it was crazy because he didn't die by violence or anything like that, and he wasn't selling drugs or anything like that. They say that he might have OD'd on some shit. There's still a little speculation about exactly what happened, because
Right.
people in his family say that nothing actually happened, and then so. But the most tragic part about it was he died on his birthday, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died on his birthday.
I
So,
had an awakening
mhm,
earlier this week. I was riding past a cemetery, and a really, really close friend of mine, he's been gone now for about maybe 40 years now. Okay. And I've always rode past the cemetery, and I tell myself, when I ride past, I'll be like, hey, Dre, talking to myself in my car,
mhm,
okay? But the other day I said, you know what, let me stop and just go pay my respects, okay? Because he was a dear friend.
yeah,
So I go in, I'm walking, I go to the office because I don't know exactly where his grave site is. And the guy walks me to his grave site. In walking through the cemetery, I see ornate headstones, pictures of the people on them. 90% of the headstones I saw, those kids were born in the 70s
mhm,
and the 80s. But here's the thing that bothered me the most. Something I never want to do is, have to do that for one of my children. But when you see the ages that these children died, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
normally I'm thinking gun violence,
Exactly.
and that's messed up. That's
Exactly.
messed up. It's
And
messed
that's
up.
messed up when you're walking in the cemetery and you're walking between headstones on each side of you. You're talking kids that died in the 80s, kids that died in the 90s.
Mhm, mhm.
It's like unbelievable. And a lot of people want to say it's the parents' fault. Okay. I can't really say that it is the parents' fault because most of the parents, like myself, we had to work. We try to instill the right things in our kids, but kids will go astray.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're working like that, especially if you're a single mother or a single father for that matter, you know, you can't be with them 24 hours a day. So you can only hope that you've instilled the right things in them and that when they get to their crossroads, they'll choose the right path. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's what you hope. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say, oh, well, Miss Johnson over there, she knew what her kids was doing. Miss Johnson might have been working 2 jobs, barely saw her kids except for coming and going, because she was providing everything for them.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mr. Jones was doing the same thing. You know, yeah, you get inklings as a parent that something ain't right. You know, and you try to talk to your kids. But then you got this outside influence. They in the other ear, you in one ear telling them one thing, and then you got somebody else, you know, showing them, look how much money I made.
Yeah.
Temptation is great. And I don't care how you slice it, it's great.
Well, so there was this other young boy that used to live on the block, and they moved around here about 2015, and they lived around here. They lived on the block for about 3 to 4 years. Anyway, there was this young cat, and he was about 15 years old, and I saw him when they first moved around here. He was about 13, and I noticed this kid. I used to see him on the block all day. He wasn't working. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of kid this age is not going to school? So I see him. I used to see the dope boys cussing him out because he didn't know how to sell drugs. He didn't know how to look out. He didn't know how to do nothing. He used to be running around here with a little whenever he got mad, used to go and get this little gun. I thought he had a real gun. It was like a BB gun. And so, he ain't had no problem with pulling this thing out. I'm thinking like, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad, bad, bad. You know what I mean? So I'm seeing I'm seeing like this is going to end horribly. Well, one day I pulled him aside. It wasn't nobody outside. I caught the block on a day where guy let me talk to this boy one-on-one. And I said, yo, man, what's up with you? I asked him his name, and he told me what his name was. And I said, listen, I noticed that I don't never see you, I don't never see you with no book bag, or I see you on the block all the time. Like, are you in school? He said, I'm getting ready to go back to school. I said, okay. I said, well, what school did you go to? What school did you go to? He said he went to Boone. Now, anybody who lives in Philly knows that the school Daniel Boone is a disciplinary school. That's the school that little young thugs go to when they've gotten expelled from every other school because of disciplinary problems. It could have been because of violence. It could have been, it's way more than just academic activity. So I said, all right, well, when are you going back? He said, well, I'm waiting for some paperwork or blah, 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 but I should be going back soon. Now, mind you, this is the middle of the winter. This had to be around like February. So I'm like, it ain't that many months left in the school year. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't been, before the school year. So I said, you look like, you seem to be kind of a smart kid. I said, well, what's your favorite subject? And he said math. I said, okay. I thought it was interesting that he chose math because I knew he wasn't going to say English.
Right.
I knew that. You know what I mean? And of course I questioned how good he was with math because I seen the dope boys, talking about how he lacks focus. And normally people who are good at math are kind of good at staying focused. You understand what I'm saying? So I said, okay. I said, well, listen, I want you to get back in school, and anything I can do to help you, don't hesitate to to let me know because I want to see you do well out here and blah blah blah. And I knew like I knew his mom. His mom was just a chick that was on the block. I don't know how old she was, but I knew she was ratchet as all heaven and hell. She was ratchet, ratchet. And and I knew he ain't had no father in his life. And his mom was going with one of the dope boys. So
Oh yeah, great example, Mom.
and all yeah and all of his sisters, they was crazy off the chain ratchet. They ain't make no sense. They was nothing but a bunch of smuts around the way. I was like, oh, this is bad. This boy is he's on a highway to hell. Well, they moved away like 2018 2019, and I always wondered. I wonder what whatever happened to them because they weren't on a good path, and he was on a terrible, terrible path. So the other girl who lives down the street, she saw me. She was like, "Yo, you remember that kid?" Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, he just got killed the other day." And I said, "Yeah."
I saw in the chat, and I think it's Yusuf who's saying that, it all starts at home. I do agree that it does start at home, where you can raise your children at home and instill values in them. Okay. However, the influence of the street can sometimes overpower what a parent is doing at home. And I can say this because I've seen it, I've lived it. You can do everything in your power to show them the right way, how to live. But when they're not with you and somebody's in their ear, exactly. The negativity does start at home too. It does.
Everything starts on.
Yeah, everything. I was blessed. You were blessed. Most of the people in the chat that I can see, you've been blessed. You've had good upbringings. You didn't veer too far from that. Now, we all experiment a little bit with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But we never let it go to the point that it controlled us. We always knew that we had to be in control. At least I did. I lost a lot of friends too. I grew up with people that lived in really harsh homes where, like you said, the mom was on the block. Dad wasn't in the picture. Or if they were in the house together, these kids saw nothing but negativity. They saw, well, my dad around when he want to be around, and he'd come around, he'd treat my mom bad. And if you're raising a male child, he's going to look at that as like, that's my way of being angry, because now I might grow up and treat my woman that way. Or I just be dogging all women. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody in the chat was saying that they told people they went to a disciplinary school because they went to an autism school. I have a nephew who's autistic. I'm fighting with the school board right now to get him where he needs to be. Okay? What people don't understand is most autistic people are so intelligent. Everybody wants to label them bad. They're autistic. They can't do this. They can't do that. They can outdo most of us. I just wanted to address that because I saw that.
Yeah, they no, I understand. I mean, but things really do start at home. They really do. But if your parents, but if your parents are irresponsible, if your parents are negative, if your parents are neglectful, if your parents are reckless, yeah, that starts at home too. And not all kids turn out the way their parents did. But in order to ensure that they won't turn out in the totally negative way that their parents or their parental upbringing shows them, is that you're going to have other influences that are just as strong that will give them other options. Options are what we need. You know, if you want somebody not to take the easiest way out, then you have to give them easier options.
Right.
If you make doing well or doing good or doing the right things, if you make it seem hard all the time, guess what? People aren't going to choose it. You know, I
Nope.
mean, you know, it's just like, do you want to? All right, you can. Let's say a class or grade has the same value. You can get an A for reading this magazine that only has 10 pages, or you can get an A by reading this book that has 1,000 pages. But whether you read the 10 page one or the 1,000 page one, it's going to have the same value A. What do you think people are going to choose as the easier option, as the quicker option?
You already know.
Yeah.
You
Now,
already know. Ask me to read 1,000 pages where I could read 100 words. I'm going for the 100 words.
exactly. Especially if you see
I
that
mean,
the A is the same value. Now you're going to have people who say, "Nah,
right.
I would do the 1,000 because I like to challenge myself." Yeah, you may feel that way, but you're not going to get most of the people who say that because they going to go ahead and read the 10 page thing and get on with the rest of their life. You can still read the
Yeah.
1,000 when you feel like it. But I already got the
Yeah.
A. I'm on to the next thing now. You still reading this
Yeah.
thousand page book or whatever. Let's see. Yosef El Bay says, "I grew up in the hood, and yes, sometimes it's some that just rebel is normally because they didn't have a father or didn't have their mother in the home." Well, I've seen it where I've seen some situations, plenty of situations where the father was there, but the father was in and out of jail. The father was selling drugs. The father was on some old crazy violent shit. You know what I mean? The father was a bad influence. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it can go a lot of ways. I would love to be able to say that all black men are good fathers. I would. There have been times I did it, man. I knew I was lying. Like, come on, son. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We was talking last night. It was just a few hours ago. We was talking about how last night, because the show that we did last night was about showing your face after an embarrassment or a loss. So we was talking about how some people find it hard to show their face or to come around after something embarrassing has happened to them or after they've lost, they've lost something, or like a fight or a bet or something like that. They don't want to show their face. You know what I mean? Some people just can't be the loser in a situation or live down being embarrassed or humiliated in any situation. But I was asking about all of these men out here. All of these men out here, I was asking, how do we know that some men who have been estranged or have not been around their kids for years and years and years, how do we know that that's because they are embarrassed that they haven't interacted with their children? They haven't done anything for their children. They haven't given anything for their children. How you go to if you go to a party, let's say you go to a birthday party and you ain't had no money for no gifts. So a lot of people won't go to the
Yeah.
party. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no gift. I don't have nothing to give. I'm not gonna go to the party because that ain't right. It's a birthday party. You go to a birthday party. You're supposed to bring something. A lot of people avoid that party. Well, the party of your family. If you know that because maybe you was having a problem with your baby mom, y'all wasn't seeing eye to eye or whatever, and as much as we can say that, regardless of what's going on between you and the other parent, you should always make sure that you take care of your kids. We can say that, but in practice, we know that in other situations we might avoid coming around somebody if we know it's a negative situation. Well, when it's your kids, all right, let's say, so you haven't seen your son or your daughter or sons and daughters, and let's say a month goes by, then 2 months, then 6 months, then 9 months, then a year. Next thing you know, it's another year. Next thing you know, you done moved down south. You doing your thing there. You done hooked up with another girl. You taking care of her kids, and you still haven't seen yours. How do we know that he ain't feeling like, yo, here I is, here I am, I have these children, I got these kids, and I haven't done nothing for them, and I still don't have nothing for them. And I ain't gonna go around them until I have something that I can present them with when I get there. And then that time, more and more time goes by.
But here's the thing about that. A lot of kids will understand if they're raised the right way, that every time I see my dad, he doesn't have to give me anything material. A lot of kids are crying out for times well spent with their parent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the disconnect comes. People tend to think, well, I only got $20 this week, so I can't go see my son or my daughter because, they probably want to go somewhere or they want to do something. But you might have $20 in your pocket, and maybe that's for you to get to work next week, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you take that kid to a park, something that don't cost you nothing, spend some quality time with them, talk to that child, see what they're feeling. Those are the things that and I say we as parents, I don't consider myself to be in that particular group because I did a lot of things with my kids for free. I was always looking for something free to do with them. Okay? But it was the time I spent with them. I would work 2 jobs, be tired as all get out. But even in my tiredness, I made time for my children.
Right.
And that's what children crave. They want to feel loved. They want to feel important. They don't really care if you raise a child right. They don't care if little Johnny got the newest Nikes out here. They just happy to be with their mom or their dad.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to a kid and say, what you do this weekend? Oh, me and my dad, we just went and hung out in the park. We threw baseballs or, played the little hoops. Those are the things that are important. If you instill that in a child from the door,
yeah,
you can raise a good child.
It's not a easy. Parenting is a hard thing to do in real time. But when we talking about whether somebody has the choice to engage in criminal activity or whether they don't, it's situational. Excuse me. Some do have the choice about whether to engage in criminal activity, and for some, they kind of predisposed to it. Like this is going to happen. You're going to do this. You may not keep doing it, but you're going to do it. Yeah, I mean, you might only do it to get a PlayStation 4 or 5, but you're going to do it. Yeah. Hold on. For anybody who wants to call in, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until the current caller is off the line. Like you can call in. Honestly, we can have up to 50 people on the line at one time. I mean, we're not, but we could. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to call into the show, you don't have to wait for somebody to hang up.
If they feeling that way, I've said all I wanted to say.
Well, I'm just saying, just for future reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
But it's the way you raise a child. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, as parents, we become so selfish and so self-centered, and I got to get this done. I got to get, something else done. That we sometimes neglect what that child is feeling.
Yeah.
And your children will tell you how they're feeling without opening their mouth.
True. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just got to recognize the signs.
Well, hopefully anybody who gets involved in criminal activity, hopefully they live long enough to see the pitfalls in it, because there's really only two ways that it'll go. And either you're gonna get killed or you're gonna go to jail. None of them sound like a
Yeah,
favorable position to me. And I know that there's some
not for
people out
me.
here. I know that there are plenty of people out here who like the street code places value or glorifies going to jail. Ain't nothing glorious about that shit. Ain't nothing
Not,
pretty about it. Ain't nothing fun about it. Ain't nothing to be proud of. Oh yeah, yeah, I did a bean upstate. I'm like, nobody want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? This ain't this ain't
yeah,
um this ain't King of New York. You coming home to mink coats and you know what I'm saying, and money and all that.
right.
Like, nobody wanna. Don't
You
nobody
ain't home to none.
look. Look. They used to say that bad boys move in silence. Well, they don't no more. They want you to know everything.
Nah,
You know what I mean? They want you to know
everything.
everything. Bunch of
Everything for public, everything is right out in the public. They
they a
don't
bunch
even, there's no discretion anymore.
they're a bunch of crows. For real. Bunch of
Yeah,
crows.
you
Yeah.
know, we've raised, a lot of people have raised a whole generation of kids that are in tune with material things. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
somebody might hustle long enough to get a PlayStation 4 or 5, you know? And this is where we are with our children. It's, well, she got gold hoops in her ears. I'm going to get my daughter bigger ones. This ain't a competition, people. But that's the mentality now.
I just
And as adults,
I
they
don't
do the
want
same.
I don't want to. I've known people who stopped selling drugs because they got shot up all crazy. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you look at like the rapper Beanie Siegel. You see, like he was a stocky. He was kind of he was chunky, borderline fat boy,
Yeah.
right? You see him now. He's like one quarter of himself. You know what I mean? And it's crazy.
You got a food truck, right?
He got a what?
A food truck.
And he has a food he had a food like channel. He got
Yeah.
like a little podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chef Siegel. Like, okay,
Yeah.
but
But I mean, he came out the drug game.
yeah, well, he had to.
Right.
Like but
There it is.
I know other people who had his exact same consequence. They got shot up, shit bagged and all of that shit. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
yeah, they lost a bunch of weight just like him, and they can't sell drugs no more. Well, they could, but they saw
Yeah.
that's what it took for the writing to finally be on the wall. Forget about all your
Yeah.
homies.
And
Forget
again,
about all your boys that got killed in the process. Forget about that, because that
right.
didn't wake you up. You had to get shit bagged. And anybody who has had to run around here with a colostomy bag know that shit ain't no fun. It ain't sexy. That
Not at
shit
all.
ain't sexy. Not really. I mean, it could be worse. You could be in the wheelchair. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You don't want that life to make the decision for you. You have a choice to make that decision beforehand. But there are people who are seemingly predisposed to criminal activity. Camel toe, you see the damn number. You know what I mean? Don't go here. People kill me with that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know the number. You know what I mean? Scroll up. You've been in the chat all that time talking about something. You know what I mean? What's the number? Yeah, you see the number. He calling in here. Fucking. I can't stand that bitch ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. I can't. I mean, the front end. The fuck out of
I'm
here.
joking. I saw it. I was like, oh wow.
Yo,
Now we
he
got
wouldn't dial that fucking number with a 10-foot finger. The fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna open himself up to no. You know, that scrutiny. You ain't built like that. Fuck out of here. I dare you to call in. I double dog dare you. Yeah, tell you what, you call that number, you call in right now, I'll send you a super chat, bitch. I'll do it. I'll do it. I will do it. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna do it. Yeah, stop. I mean, stop the madness.
So funny. Yeah, that's some funny shit.
I mean the capping, please. Please.
Yeah.
Bro said
You've
double
been
dog.
talking all this shit all before.
No, I'm 54 years old.
To call in.
I double dog dare you to call that number in.
I'm gonna hang up and wait and see.
Yeah. That's what we gonna do. That's what we gonna do. We gonna right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start the clock on this motherfucker. Let me see.
All right. Well, I know the number's been posted quite a few times. Mm-hmm. So if you really want to call in, show us you're not a punk. Come on with it.
Yeah. I know where I'm placing my bets on. I got the stop. Too. I got the stopwatch ready. You on the clock. You on the clock. Let me see. Let me find the fuck. I'm gonna just leave the clock running. You know what I mean? We up to 15 seconds.
That ain't gonna happen. That clock gonna run.
That shit'll run into infinity. There's gonna be so many numbers on that clock.
Don't make me choke. All right, listen. I'm going back and listen to the show, but I'm gonna wait for this one.
All right. Yo, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. Yeah. I mean, please. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I mean, we just stop the capping. Stop the capping. We ain't doing that. What's the number I want to call in? Motherfucker, you wouldn't call Uno. You wouldn't call Uno if you was on your last card, you bitch. You must be crazy. Tank, what up, Tank? Said I just turned 17, bro. I got 2 kids and 1 on the way. Word? You got 2 kids and 1 on the way? Any genuine advice? Yeah. You gotta get a job, son. You gotta get a job. I would suggest that you go to job. I would suggest you get a job that has educational training or an option to pay for your schooling. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Other than that, I would be thinking about getting my hustle on. With 3 kids in tow. Now I don't mean no illegal hustle, but I would sell some socks, some t-shirts, you know what I mean? Learn how to airbrush, get yourself a printing press. You know what I mean? Print up something. You got to do something. 3 kids? You better start hustling like Master P. You trying to get your GED? Definitely do that. Absolutely get your GED. But don't let it be your last. You're going to need I'm not going to tell you what you're going to need. I'll say what I would suggest. I suggest that you get some job training, some vocational training, you know, anything that you're interested in, woodworking, carpentry, plumbing, AC, electricity. You know, there are a lot of good trades out here. You can make real good money. But with 3 kids, you got to get on that shit with the quickness. Yeah, Yosef said trapping ain't gonna get it. I would not suggest that you trap. Do not sell no drugs, because now you're gonna mess around and either not be here for your kids because you're not physically here, somebody knocked you off, or because you got locked up. None of that is helping nothing. That ain't helping with shit. Queenie says, I struggle really bad with my anxiety. Any advice? Yeah, try breathing techniques. Try breathing techniques. Try yoga, meditation. Try changing your diet. Try more plant-based diet. Don't eat as many sweets. Cut down on the sweets. Cut down on the red meats. Try those things. Every mental and physical condition comes out of your diet. You change your diet to a healthier diet, magic is going to start it's going to start happening, and other people are going to think that you changed on your own, but you'll feel the difference. You'll see, feel, and touch the difference. Emily says, then this Vincent person said he wanted to call in. Supposedly, apparently, him and Camel Toe may be in cahoots. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Anyway, one thing I know when I see him is a sucker. I know me a sucker when I see him. I know me a sucker when I see him. How you take a trade class? Well, you can go online. No, you're not going to be able to take a trade class online, but you can register online and see about getting financial aid. But first and foremost, work on getting your GED. Get your GED. That's the first thing you got to do. Get your GED. Getting your GED will do something for you personally. Psychologically, it will do something personally for you because it will give you a sense of completion. And there's something about finishing what you start, whether it's school, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whatever it is. When you complete things that you start, when you plan something out, work the plan your work your plan, and finish, it gives you this rush. It gives you this feeling. And you realize that you can do it again and again and again and again. And you will. And nonstop. You said there's one or two that you can take online? Like what? It's hands-on shit. You talking about trades? I wouldn't take no trades. Nah. Yeah, you can learn how to fix your brakes on YouTube if you want to. I ain't riding in that car. Listen, I know you did everything that they said to do. I'm not fucking with you though. You know what I'm saying? You become a YouTube mechanic or some shit. Nah. I ain't riding in the car. I'll take my chances on a motorized scooter without a motor down a real steep hill before I fuck with you and that car that you learned how to fix the brakes on YouTube with. I'm good. Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Anaruda says rap is rap that cannot tap until you sap, then yap. Camel Toe, I thought you was calling in, you little pussy. I thought you was calling in. Come on. Never mind. We know who you are. We know how you are. We know. You ain't got no balls. You got girl balls. Ovaries. Because I know you're not a man. The things that you're talking about remind me of somebody. Yeah. Whenever trolls come through complaining about trolls, I know where that's coming from. Like, there's only one person I know that cares about trolls like that. And they're nearby. They're really close by. So, I mean, fuck it. All right. Mahan 77. What's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. All right. So we good. Everything is good. So yeah, as we continue on with There are some people out here who, because of the influence of the people that they grew up with, because of the people who mentored them, tutored them, raised them, brought them up, showed them the way. Yeah, the likelihood that they were going to choose to engage in criminal activity was crazy high. There was barely any way that they weren't going to choose that. And now for people who may have grown up in the same kind of element, let's say you grew up in the projects, or you grew up in a trailer park or something like that, and you say to yourself, well, I grew up around a bunch of people that was broke and a bunch of people that was involved in crime and criminal activities and drug activity and stuff like that, but I didn't do that. Well, we can't always take the exception to the rule as being the rule. A lot of times we want to do that. We want to say that just because I didn't do it, that means that you don't have to do it. Well, if you did it and a lot of other people did it too, what's the likelihood that nobody else will do it? So we can congratulate and praise the one that broke away, but we still have to fix the ones who got caught. And we have to take that into consideration. We got to take it into serious consideration. There's a war going on outside no one is safe from. He says, why don't you carry weapons to be safe all the time? I carry weapons to be safe all the time. This is a weapon. This is a weapon. This is a weapon. I carry weapons all the time. Now, when those things don't work, we might have to go to another thing. But safety is not a concern for me. I don't worry about being safe. I'm safe wherever I go. That's the way I look at it. But I consider myself to be safe wherever I go because I carry myself in a way that I don't feel like I should have any trouble. Now, I have some things going on that may bring trouble to me. Like, people might want to take my stuff. I get it. But anytime I leave the house with the promise that I'll make it back home. So far, so good. Tank says, you stay strapped. It's not about all of that. I ain't about to get on this camera and tell everybody no shit like that. Just know that whenever I leave home, I pledge to make it back home. I've been 100% successful in that. You know what I mean? There's a difference between coming back home and going home. I ain't ready to go home. I don't want to have nothing to do with going home. Shout out to all of the ancestors who have gone home. I'll see you when I get there. For right now, man. I mean, shit, real shit. Tank says 19 or 43, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm 54. Like, I'm seriously your old head. Like, I'm your old head. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. That's all good, though. Manny Jackson says, your facial hair looks like it has a portfolio. A portfolio? My facial hair. Facial hair. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I have the most interesting facial hair of anybody I know. All gray hair, salt and pepper hair, no gray hair. I don't have no explanation. I don't have no explanation. I don't know how it goes. I didn't chose us. It was chosen for me. So we go with he who made the thing the way it is. Maybe it's God, maybe it's the universe, or another kid. All I know is that I look the way I look and you look the way you look the same. Yeah, we ain't looking for fame. We just trying to make a name for ourselves and make sure that we got good health and a little wealth. I make a little bit of money. Just say stories that's kind of funny. You understand what I'm talking? I'ma do it while I'm walking, chalking it up to a good time. Say a little good stuff, good rhymes. I have a good walk, good talk with my peace brothers and sisters. I don't have to diss motherfuckers to come through. I know he who fronts on this will get fried like fish. It's time for me to make a little list of the things that I want to accomplish with you. And if I don't do that, then I haven't planned. And then plan is something that a man has to do. What? If you don't understand the words that's coming out my mouth like Chris Tucker, listen, motherfucker. You don't understand the things that I'm going through and things that I'm cooking up. Yeah, trying to win. Yup. I was running around like every day the Super Bowl, and I'ma win that motherfucker. I'm not selling my soul to nobody. Each and every hottie that ever I came around, I know that I was down. The clown is not something that I wanna be. You don't see no floppy shoes and a big nose on me. Well, I got a big nose, but I'm not a clown nose. I don't be around those. Do you understand the things that I'm talking about? Till I outline, you were chalking it out. It don't have to come down to none of that. We gonna be the first one on the plate. Hit the bat, hit the ball with the bat, hit it out the park. Make sure we get back before it gets dark. Mama said to come home before the street lights come on. I still was late, but it wasn't no hate. Yeah, I took my bumps and bruises, but I won't be losing to nobody who can't beat me. And I understand that I got to eat free. And what I have to pay for, that's what I was made for. Do you understand the things that I'm saying? Do you really think that I'm messing around and just playing? Ain't no delaying. We get to the bag. I ain't fucking around with y'all because I know that's thing you never had and ain't never gonna get. But I ain't down with none of that shit because I'm 100% legit. I'ma still keep running and keep scrambling to make sure that I got this thing, you know, the nigga handling. And I got a lot of things to do. And then I'm glad to be here broadcasting for you. We about to do the birthday shouts and be out. Let's do it right now because I'm about to take the route. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious last day of August, last day of August, the 31st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Joseph William Matrice. Happy birthday to you, and also Janet Smith. Happy birthday, and Yoshi Woods. Happy birthday, Yoshi, and Kizzy May. And can't forget
90 seconds.
Hold on. And can't forget Aisha Frazier and Patrice Chambers and my girl Jasmine Ringo. And also Felicia Morris and my man Marcellus Ruff. And go get her, my girl, straight from Newark to GA down in Atlanta. Judith Walker, happy birthday to you. And Sharonda Glam Mom, my girl Sharonda Glam Mom, all up in the house. And my cuz, last but not least, my cuz Bianca Coleman. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious August 31st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, go hard, go for yours, and remember, go hard, go for yours, and remember, hey, yo, we all have choices out here. As a matter of fact, to not choose is to still make a choice. So even if you choose not to choose, you still made a choice not to choose. So a choice is out there. Now, are there some people out there that were born predisposed to criminal behavior and activity? Yes. Yes, there are people here that are only here because a crime was committed. If you can figure out what I'm talking about. But you made it here. And if you made it here, you can make it out of here in the way that you want to. I would never suggest that anybody take up a life of crime, but I do understand, unlike a judge would, that there are some people who really never had a fighting chance on how to get on up out of here. You can only use what you know. Excuse me. You can only use what you know. The things that you don't know, you cannot use those things to your advantage. Harry F. Bryce says, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Word. Word. Well, they say that no sin is greater than the other. So whether I lie or or have a bad thought or commit a murder, God said, well, same shit. Same shit. Well, the courts say differently. The court says differently. A different judge, besides the divine judge, says, nah, we prosecute these things a little differently over here. So a lie might not even get you probation. You going home. Matter of fact, we didn't have enough evidence to even move forward with the case. But you over there with this murder case, now I got a murder rap. You are out of here, or you are into here. Listen, man, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through. I appreciate it. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow afternoon between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another Urban Therapy with Sun show. So make sure that you come through. I will be here tomorrow at 1 doing it for you. And I hope that you come on by. And if you do come in, give me a like and say hi. And we won't be high. We'll be together. But we're going to elevate and make sure and keep the record straight. Speaking of record, I take a second, the record, a minute to get in it. Yeah, you know that I'm a winner crown. And you know that I'm down like a submarine. Keep it all the way underground with the scene. I mean to always be the best. So every day I create another test for myself to pass. I will last longer than the next man who skipped class. Like I said, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Yo, be good for the rest of the day. Be good to your people. Show love. Show love, show knowledge, show wisdom, show understanding. So, Blog Talk, we gonna get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace, y'all.